8 things I avoid to feel strong at 50. Hi my loves, today we're being brutally honest. I'm 50, I feel strong, I feel young, and that's not by accident. There are things I refuse to do, non-negotiables, and some things I indulge in once in a while. Let's go, because I don't have time to age prematurely. One, avoid gluten. When I cut gluten, it depuffed my face, my stomach flattened, the six-pack was popping, and suddenly I could move like a ninja again. Don't get me wrong, if I'm on date night and we're having dessert, I'm not going to eat the fruit plate. I'm going to get the big chocolatey gooey cake. I have my gluten sparingly, and I have it when it counts, when it's worth the pain and the setback. I learned this the hard way. Gluten, instant bloat, instant inflammation, instant why do my joints feel 97 years old, especially in my ankles. When I was a personal trainer back in the day in Singapore, I'd wake up from the bed, walk to the kitchen, and my ankles and feet would crack and I'd feel pain. Fast forward 10 years later, I get a doctor in the US. I never had a doctor in Asia. She advised me, oh, it's just your age, you might be getting arthritis. I was shocked. I'm super healthy, I eat super well, I train, I stretch, I do all the healthy things. How can I be getting arthritis at 40? But I've suffered with chronic IBS all my life. 3 doctors in the last 5 years have advised me to remove my colon, but I've had a breakthrough. If you want a really personal, too much information video on that, let me know and I'll get on it. But being inflamed with gluten did not help. I finally got to see an IBS doctor who recommended avoiding gluten. I did no carbs back in the day, Atkins diet, all of that. But being certified and a nutritional advisor, I knew not to avoid carbs, and carbs are not the enemy. But on the doctor's advice, I avoided gluten to see if my IBS improved, but my joints did. Not only was my ankles hurting every day, also it started to come in my fingers. So much so, when I was doing heavy deadlifts, I wouldn't fatigue from the weights or compound exercise, I'd fatigue from the fingers. I evolved and started to use lifting wraps to help with the bar weight. When I avoided gluten, I went into the gym within a matter of 3 days, lifted that weight with no wraps. My fingers were so much better. I realized the gluten, especially in America and somewhat in Asia, inflames my joints so much that I start to age. 2, I avoid losing my flexibility. If you haven't checked out my video before this, what I do to stay strong at 50, I go into detail on the importance of range of motion. If you haven't seen that, check it out after this or check it out now and come back here. This is a huge one. Flexibility keeps you young, period. Don't stop doing things. Everyday ways of stretching. I always say, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Every time I have a shower, I moisturize my skin. I've done it since I was in my teens. Every day, without fail. In fact, if I don't moisturize my skin starts to get really tight and I feel like it's cracking. So I need to do it to not be in pain, especially in the winter months. I avoid letting my skin get dry and my joints at the same time. I put my hands, you can see, and I moisturize all over my back. Sometimes my fiance's offer, do you want me to moisturize you? I'm like, no, because if I don't moisturize my back, one day I'm not going to be able to reach. And that day will come when I stop doing it. As soon as you stop doing things, you lose things. It keeps my shoulders mobile and my range of motion open, not just my skin glowing. When you stop moving, you start aging. Don't let stiffness creep up on you. Another memory, when I was around 10, I would help my mother do her feet because she couldn't reach down. Thinking of it now, she was only in her late 40s, 50s when she was asking me to help her give her a pedicure and trim her toes. It would always confuse me why she couldn't get in that position because I didn't think she was that old. She was only my current age, and that is always stuck in my mind. That's why you'll find me sometimes with my foot in my face, trimming and doing my own feet because I want to make sure I'm always capable of doing it. I'm going to be 100 years old in my wheelchair, doing my pedicures with one hand and nunchucks with another. I'm going to make sure that I don't stop reaching, moving, stretching, being mobile. I don't want to end up like my mom, not being able to touch my own feet prematurely. Motion keeps youth. Today we're in Benedict Canyon, which is Beverly Hills, Bel Air. There's my love, and there's my other love on the pickleball court. Shake. Good boy. 3. Avoid sugar spikes that age you. From my last video, you'll see that I specify my high GI carbs and sugars. I'll have them to my protein times post-training after heavy lifting to help with my muscle repair. So I use the high GI to my benefit, but mostly I avoid convenience high refined sugars foods alone. Hello wrinkles and inflammation. Truly, if I eat an American donut, you can see it the next day in my skin. Avoiding sugar keeps my skin and my hormones calm. At the W Hotel, take a look. This is a Louis Vuitton silver bag. Got it in Singapore for $400. All Saints, Zara, Free People. 4. I avoid drama like the plague. Toxic people and negative energy. At 50, I don't babysit adults. Someone drains me, stresses me, or throws chaos in my life, block, delete, move on. Peace be with you, but I'm over there. I don't do drama, I don't do fights. If you're not bringing good and peace in my life, then I'm just gonna go and turn that way. I can't control what you do. I can control how I act and what I accept. Protecting my energy keeps me young and full of gratitude. Stress shows on your face, faster than wrinkles. At 50, peace is expensive. Hiya. Good. Mei Ling Ing, and the surname is just NG. 5. I avoid skipping training for long periods of time. Don't get me wrong. Once in a while, a break is good, but more than a week, my DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, my strength, my muscle memory has all depleted. And vanity side, my shoulders and my delts don't pop after a week of not training. I get it if you're traveling somewhere or if you have an injury, take the rest. But if you're just doing it out of laziness, get back in that gym. Move every day, even 20 minutes. More for your mind. I am so much more motivated, driven when I'm moving. When I'm vegging out and I don't move, I get into a slump and a bit of a low. I feel stiff, moody, and old. Training keeps my joints juicy, my mind sharp, and my attitude spicy. No training, no thank you. I saw this on TikTok. It's 1 up, hands free. Chanel handbag not being a nuisance. 6. I avoid late nights. Nothing ages you faster than going to bed at stupid o'clock. If I stay up late, the next day I wake up with a face like a bag of spanners. Sleep is like the real anti-aging serum. Free of charge, I protect my sleep like a psycho. Early nights, tight skin, good mood, and no eye bags. I also did a more in-depth sleep routine in my last video, things I do to stay young at 50, so check that out. But I did forget to add one secret ingredient that's life-changing for my IBS and for my sleep and relaxing my muscles. Magnesium changed my life. I took a serving of Calm and some water, drink that with my nighttime supplements and my melatonin at night. If you want me to do a video of my step-by-step whole sleep wellness routine, let me know and I'll get on it. Driving down Malibu, just seeing the destruction is still here. What is it, 8 months later? Still heartbreaking. Just feel dead inside coming down here. 7. Avoid anyone telling you you're old. I moved to America when I was 40. People told me it was too late. I was too old and to get over it. And then I booked Wonder Woman within 6 months. Age is not the boss of me or you. Truly, you're as young as you feel. Look at me. I have nunchucks and Wonder Woman signs behind me because it's fun and it keeps me young and spunky. Just because I'm 50, it doesn't mean I'm going to start wearing clogs and a smock and let life pass me by. I want to feel strong, dynamic, and sexy. If you want something at 50, go get it. Who says you can't because you're 50? Don't let strangers, society, or family put you off your dreams and put you on the shelf. Get off that shelf. The moment you say, I'm too old, life hears you. Refuse to limit yourself. Because the moment you say it out loud, your body believes it and starts to react. Short story from 2019. I just bagged the role of Mongal in Suicide Squad. They asked me to go to Burbank by Warner Brothers Studio, get my contacts fitted with the eye specialist they always use. I walked in, I was 45. She asked me, how's my vision? I said, 20/20, no problems. Without even looking at me, says to me, your vision will go very soon. It's age. I sat there in shock and couldn't believe she would say something and put it out there that it would go in my brain. I swear my life, within 6 months, I bought my first pair of readers. I was thinking, really? Do I really have 20/20 vision? Maybe it's in my mind. Maybe I do need glasses. Then I started to look at words more precisely and more intently. And before I know it, they started to get blurry. You know the saying, be careful what you wish for, dreams come true. Be careful what you listen to because it will go in your mind and you'll believe it to be true. Again, avoid the negativity. 8. Avoid long periods without protein. I protect my muscles like gold. Because at 50, if I don't have muscle, then all I have is skin, bone, and fat. What's long periods? For instance, if I was going to have a sandwich for lunch with a tiny slice of chicken, but mostly it's carbs and gluten-free bread, I'm not going to do pasta at night. I'm going to do a protein-based dinner to offset the sandwich. And I'm not going to eat 2 heavy carb meals back to back on the same day because I'm going to feel bloated and sluggish for training the next day. The easiest way to look older is to lose muscle. I always hit my protein. How many grams of protein for your body weight? Simple. If I'm 150 pounds, I'll do 150 grams of protein a day. And I'll split that up between 5 meals. I'll do 30 grams of protein a portion. It's the cheat code for staying tight, toned, and bouncy. These are the 8 things I avoid to stay strong, powerful, and youthful at 50. Remember, age is just a number, attitude is everything. If you want me to make a video on hormones and the benefits I found to getting superhero ready, much more easier to get leaner, have more energy, think more clearly, sleeping better, let me know if you want me to make a video and I'll get on it. At 50, hormone balance is survival. Thanks again for being here. Please consider subscribing, leave a comment or a like down below. It really helps the channel.